Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. and here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel and 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about the moment. Let's receive some news that someone I know has transitioned to the next round and just moments ago got this notice. And so my heart is just heavy, and but I'll address that in a few moments. But if you are new, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations now, primarily online, because of the present moment. You can also, of course, become a subscriber to get all these videos for free. If you are new, a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, author of the Pulitzer Prize nominated Animating Black and Brown Liberation. I'm the board president of the World Stage, a great nonprofit here in Los Angeles, in our Crenshaw district here. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature. I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that to brag or boast. I say it because people are oftentimes surprised to learn of my productivity when they learn about my crazy background. I am the product of a young girl who was assaulted sexually at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee. So no biological father, no adopted father, just difficult times for the young MD, yet as Kool Moe Dee famously said, "How you like me now?" All right, so thanks for being here. So as I was saying a second ago, I just got the news that someone I know has transitioned. She was an elder, and it's just tough to hear that news. And so today, as we talk about the moment, I'll just dedicate this show to her out of respect for her privacy, family. I won't say her name. But and we want to. I was just reading this morning about the moment, which is what I do before the show. I do research and prepare. And I was just reading about the moment this morning, and I'm reading Thich Nhat Hanh's book. It's classic, The Miracle of Mindfulness, and thinking about a friend of his comes to visit, and the friend asked to wash the dishes, and Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a Buddhist monk, says, "Well, only if you wash them the right way." And the man says, "Oh, I'm a professional, a dishwasher." And he says, "Well, you want to wash the dishes just to be washing them, not to be somewhere else with your mind, on your next task, on the tea that will follow. But you wash them to wash them, to be alive in that moment, right, of washing dishes," which is such a great, simple but powerful lesson about being in the moment. So from that, I'll just read this. This is my morning chant. I think of a morning chant each day based on my reading and preparation. And today's morning chant is, "As a meditating natural mystic, I keep my mind in the present moment of the present plan, which allows me to truly enjoy the journey to justice and abundance." And it was such a good reminder to be in the present moment. We hear that. Luckily, it's becoming a ubiquitous term. Folks talk about the moment, if you know sports especially, which, although it's kind of cliche, it's great that people are even discussing the moment, or that my daughter's schools have been thinking about and implementing various aspects of the present moment, of mindfulness, which is a concept that really Thich Nhat Hanh really popularized here in the West, largely. And so we, as people who are complicated, who people in our lives transition, we go through hardship, we go through difficulty, we have great success. I've been through all those experiences, even lately. That it's easy not to be in the moment because we're being tossed asunder so often by life's vagaries, and especially now with the COVID-19 crisis jumping off, and our president saying that he's tired of being responsible and having people act responsibly. He wants us to let people die so we can go make money. I mean, So it's easy to get distracted from the moment, which is why we have to double down on being in the moment. That's point one. You got to double down on being in the moment. Well, how do you do that? You know, a lot of us who are busy and have many responsibilities, it's difficult to be in the moment because our minds are always on the next thing, or we're multitasking. Multitasking. We've got several coterminous moments. No, I do oftentimes. So how do you get in the moment? The key to being in the moment is breathing, is being conscious of your breath. And one of the I'll call it a trick because that people can relate to that a little bit more probably. But one of the techniques or tricks to being in the moment is I call it breathing the day. So being in the habit of, in the moment of breathing, because you can only breathe in the moment. So to take a breath, right? You can't breathe in the past. You can't breathe in the future. You can only breathe basically right now, right? And so that's a really subtle but super brilliant technique to stay in the moment. Focus on your breathing because you can only breathe in the moment. And that can help you so much to stay in the moment, which goes into point three. As you're able to stay in the moment, you will enjoy life more. I'm pretty good at it because I do think a lot. I think a lot about these things, but I can do way better. I mean, I go through my cycles of it. But definitely, when I'm in the moment, I have a little white band on my wrist. You just heard it pop, and I that's my breathe the moment. You know, when I'm not breathing in the moment, I'll snap myself to remind myself, "Out, you're not breathing. You're not consciously breathing." I do a pretty good job of that. Usually, for the last 3 or 4 days, I mean, I've been distracted, certainly by all the COVID stuff as well, and just trying to keep myself together emotionally and psychically, you know, in the face of all these things, you know. So, but I know I'll return because that's such a major part of my life. So I know some of us don't have that kind of pragmatic practice. So reach out to me or other people in your life who are meditation practitioners, who are on this particular journey. This can transform your life. Certainly transform my life. Just being about breath and being in the moment and being a meditator who's serious about it, who has an actual practice. It's a game changer. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Let me encourage you also to use your best wisdom. The president's about to basically have us, as a country, as a national dictate, get away from social distancing. And I know that there'll be some people who just follow that because they followed him. You want to be smart with you and your family. Look at Italy. We're basically about 3 weeks behind Italy. And because the president didn't want to, they were downplaying this COVID-19. We have literally no idea how widespread it is, and it's probably super widespread. And really, what's going to maybe even save us is that senators now are getting sick or are contracting the virus, and hopefully they'll be able to have some sway in the government. I know Rand Paul has it, a few other cats have it, and I am sure, because Rand Paul has had it for a week and has been all up in the negotiations. I know other people have it as well in Congress. And that may be what allows us to have people who are close to the president speak to him about that it is a bad idea to go against doctors and world leaders in the example of Italy to stop social distancing right now, even in part. So be smart. Don't go for the okie doke. Don't contract a disease, a virus that you know can kill you because the president wants to go make money for his casinos. I mean, it's outlandish. And maybe this will be the tipping point, as Gladwell would say, to people really looking at him for what he is and what he's about, which is about himself and his money. And listen, on the show, we're not anti-money on this show. We're pro-abundance, obviously, you know. But we're also pro-ethics and common sense. Man, it's crazy. So I don't want to get too far afield on that topic, but thanks for being here. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the moment, because in our physical bodies, there will be a time when they will not be. Peace and blessings.